And officially, good morning. Welcome out to the Options Income Launchpad Wednesday market midpoint. My name is Scott, and I will be your host. I'll be your companion on this little journey that we embark on as best friends. As always, what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. We're not brokers or advisors. Nothing we do or say should be considered a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We don't give personalized investment advice. Any decisions made should be done so at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. At least we had a flatter open today. We're looking for earlier buyers. How has war affected the market? There's been concern, and we've had we've gapped down, but then we recover, and so concerning, but also a measure of stability remains. Would you guys agree with me? Who agrees? There's definitely some choppiness, a little back and forth going on. We'll look at today's opening. We'll look at how has our posture shifted. A little bit worse. Even though there's been recovery, there have been things that are actually a little bit worse, but recoverable. So I'm not like yesterday. I'm like, ooh, this would bring my posture down, and this would. But if we see this, it would revitalize itself. And anyway, we'll go through that. Let's see if we can find a trade today. If we think the stability's here, then we're going to look to see what opportunities develop for us bullishly. What are the setups that we have? How is the trading plan? Routines. What are your routines? I think you should have daily and weekly well defined, and start thinking about monthly, daily and weekly. What do you do every day? What do you do on the weekend? What's your trading activities? More of your back office preparation activities. If possible, you should have pre-market, during market, after market. But you have to script yours according to whatever your time frame is. Some people are like, oh, I can only look at it after the market. Great, you've got one set of routines. Everything's got to be done at that time. Whatever you have available, create a window. How much time are you going to spend? What are the routines? Start getting some of that consistency in your trading routine, and I think you'll appreciate that. And then what do you do on the weekends? Obviously, we hang out together. We do a bunch of weekly routines. Okay, let's go. I wanted to hit that today. Account recovering most of the loss from yesterday already. There you go. Okay, thanks, Doug. Good to hear. Good to hear. This is the ES, so you can see that we have some long shadows over the last 3 days. Let's go to the SPY, since that's more our perspective we're used to. And there's that right there. That was the worst one. So when you look at this, you got some white candles there at the end, where it's like, hey, those white candles mean what? The buyers are fighting. They're still fighting, right? You don't even have a red candle. So on Monday, it started red. That's the point, right? Is we're like, oh, this is going to be bad. And then it's like, well, finished right where it was. Yesterday, we gapped down again. And we did sell further off, but then we recovered and finished here. And you can see we're actually right still in line. And in fact, interestingly, this candle here literally recovered and saved itself on the line that I consider to be quite important both ways. I have a more this horizontal line here. I've got this sloping line here. If I would have broken below that, that could have changed a lot of things on my posture. As of now, it hasn't. And we're a little above today. So if we can see this thing finish like this, what are we going to have? We're going to have a stochastics that's crossing higher. We're going to have a bounce at a support level. Now, would I be like, hey, I want to trade SPY because look how bullish it is? No. I mean, look at it's quite sideways. Our score right now, that's what I was missing. I was like, I'm missing some things that I'm used to looking at since yesterday morning's fiasco. I need my market posture. Hold on. Market posture log. Here we go. Ooh. That's the one I want. I apparently forgot to save it even. I'm like, wait a second, that's missing some data. Okay, maybe I'll look at this stuff later. Where are we? Short term's barely holding on at a 0.5 as it is. Long term, I mean, if this red line doesn't hold by the end of the week, the short term's going to drop, the long term's going to drop. So we're at a pretty critical junction right now. Okay. So, what are we looking for today? Slower start. Day traders, same thing that we're always going to do. We'll come check in on the SPY in about 10 minutes. After the first 20, we have our opening range, and that range is going to help orient the way that you look to trade. Which way first? When would I look for reversals? Yeah. But you can see so far what's happened. First 10. We opened a little higher. We ran up, tested, and now the sellers engulfed. They completely engulfed it. But that, well, I mean, you could. You know, if you are willing to trade early, but I like to wait for the first 20 to establish. Sellers are coming in a little bit. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's look at the VIX. And start there. Okay. Now, when we get these high points, you can see they oftentimes are pretty quickly. We look for a pretty quick recovery out of them, and then you oftentimes get an extended. You can see it comes down pretty fast, and then you have a more extended, continued movement. So if we get one of these little recovery pieces, that's what we're looking for. Right now, we're sort of just topping out. We would like to see it, if it did what we were talking about as far as making a bullish move by the end of the day, there's a good chance this thing ends up back here again and maybe even a little more. That's the kind of pattern that you think, okay, this is where it could at least recover back down slowly. So what am I saying? I'm looking for, if you're gonna be bullish for a swing, for a hey, looking for this market to make an extended move, because maybe you think, I think this administration is going to hit them a little bit more, declare victory. They have a very good plan. This thing isn't going to last long. The market's going to respond positively. Market so far is holding up. I mean, a little spike, but nothing. If again, I always ask myself, and I ask people that I'm working with, If I saw this VIX, if I saw this SPY, is there anything about what we're seeing here where we'd be like, oh my gosh, that must have been a war starting? I mean, if I did, I'd be like, I don't know, maybe this really big candle back here and it start like, I don't know, right? There's nothing over on this side. It looks as it's been looking, not worse. It looks just like it has been. It's sideways. It's putting in candles. There's certainly been a little extra volatility in the morning. We're certainly not out of the woods yet. We're sitting here right on top of this pivotal place. So yeah, it's interesting time right now. Okay, let's go through. Yeah, I think we've all had to take some losses as this market has, but I think those losses are probably relatively small because from what the conversation has been over the last, especially 2 or 3 weeks, which would encompass any trades where losses are being taken, the response is, it's not like we're like, whoa, all of a sudden this market is so bad and we don't know what to do. We've watched it drop from a 4.5 to a 3.5 to a 2.5. So for us, by early February, we're like, yeah, this is a little. Let's go see where early February is. Early February, right in here. Right in this area here, we're already like, hey, there's something about this market's, it didn't make as high of a high or pulled back. And from that point, it really hasn't done anything. It's struggled on every move. There's been more volatility, so the VIX has moved up and it's moved up into the 20s. Then there's more intraday volatility. So you'll notice a lot of people who do day trade are saying, well, I've had some pretty good day trading. Yeah, right now, what do we notice? That swing trading has gotten more difficult due to market conditions. If you have the ability to, you can find and apply the same concepts just at shorter time frames by doing some day trading. Picking some stocks with high liquidity that you can get in. You have the ability to sit and watch it. So a lot of it is time constraint. Where are we at? 5 more minutes. We'll go back. You can see the SPYs. The sellers are trying to come in. It may test into yesterday's body a little bit, and then might recover. These are long days that we're in right now. So someone might be thinking, I'm gonna go with the sellers early. And then in the afternoon or late morning when we've seen some of the reversal come, whatever way it reverses, we've seen some movements that are strong the last couple of days. You guys are quiet out there. Talk to me. What are you trading? What are you in? What are you watching? How have you weathered this? Hi, Vladimir. Good to see you. I think there's several places holding steady. Okay. Alcoa gapped up, rallied, then sold off. Very interesting. I mean, you can just see out of the blue, some of these stocks are making these moves. We said we're feeling a little more bullish on this one, but I don't know. It's going for a choppy ride. Apple. Still sort of in this little testing zone right above the 100. It's kind of a symmetric. So for me, the overall pattern is more of a triangular pattern. But if it bounces here, if it breaks out of this, it's a good chance it heads on up. So there's a nice bit of loading potentially here. I don't know. What's the news on Apple these days? A lot of times it has to do with like how well they're selling over in China. Anybody heard? Anybody keep an eye on that? Give us the inside scoop. Archer Daniels. So we're seeing some of this developing now. These types of patterns where it's like, what kind of pattern is that? Consolidation. The majority of the time, we tend to look for these to be more continuation than reversal. So those are the two types of patterns. Like when we say this is a pattern, well, what do we think it's going to do? Reverse or go or keep going? Oh, thanks. Super helpful. Had a little bit of a false breakout there. Still in its consolidation though. I think you're going to see we're going to have a lot of those types of patterns in here. Applied Materials. So here's one of my favorite candidates right now. It's got a phenomenal trend. Clearly well positioned in the chip space. That's what these guys are. They're chips, aren't they? Sometimes I'm like getting in my head what somebody is. And then I'm like, wait a second, what are they again? Information technology, equipment, to this. Okay, yeah. Engineering solutions, materials, equipment, services, software to semiconductor and related industries. Okay, so. Yeah, I like the way this one is setting up. You can see our stochastics starting to pinch. We're starting to orient around maybe this support level here. Well, this is not far from some previous levels. So we're looking at this somewhere around 350. We've got a prime initial target around 395, maybe 390, maybe a little bit below that, and then the second target. So this move here was aided by earnings. I mean, even if we just took one of these prior moves, I'd probably say I'd want a little bit more. Maybe something like that. Oh, it won't let me put it up. Hold on. I gotta put some more days on. 20 days. Let's just put this over here, thinking, what would we be looking for? Yeah, you can see that move looks very in line with the trend. Target up around 410, maybe some around 392-ish, somewhere like that. Hopefully we can get in by 360. By 360. Stop at 345, so we could be about 15 of risk, and we would have 30 to the first target, 50 to the second target. So better than 3-1 setting up here. Dow at 30 until 3. What do you think? Yeah, here's our Dow trade. So, is this the one you meant? It's had a great start. It's right on its line, even though it's this full red candle, which we've seen some selling come in. I'm going to see this to the end of the day. If at the end of the day this is even if it was here, I'd be like, I'll give it one more day. It's still higher. It's still on this path. So, but this is one. So this is one that I am still in, and this is one that it has not a lot of room, but some wiggle room. So, Peter, I'm assuming you're in this one as well. Let me know who else might have a piece of this. This is, I mean, this thing could still make the move we wanted. We'll see if there's some stability that comes in. During ordinary times, this analysis makes sense, right? You're like, oh, that sounds perfect. And then you're like, but not right. I hear you. I mean, you guys see, hopefully I'm very discriminate right now. I'm not going to just want to put a trade on without seeing exactly because there's just, less confidence in this market, less certainty, less conviction, whatever we want to say. ARSMF, the only fluorspar mine in the U.S. A critical mineral. And it is in Dow. Nice. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Here's another one that I'm very, very interested in. This Google this Google hiccup. So Google came down, had this. We pushed up, pulled back, and this is right knocking at the door. What are we looking for here? If we get a bullish turn this afternoon and Google ends up looking like this, that's going to be enough. That's going to turn our stochastics, and that's where we think, okay, you know what? I'm going to look for what? Well, that's about 306 or so, we'll say. Let's call it 306. Yeah, I could get about, what's the low here? 296. 10 or 11, 12 maybe at the most to the downside for a stop. So what am I looking for here? Can I get 36? 36 would be up at 343. I don't know. 3-to-1's up here. That's a big move. How close are we to a Heikin-Ashi? Well, if the trade doesn't come until tomorrow, we might end up getting like a bullish candle, at which point I could put my stop more like 300. In at 308, 300 stop, $8 of risk. Yeah, that's a trade that would work. We'll see if this one turns today. I think it's still good. I think there's a 3-to-1 there. I think there's a 3-to-1 setting up in Google, and I think Google is, with it being a communication services leader, I think there's a good opportunity for that. Did I jump to that? Let's go back. Where were we? AMKR. I stopped out. I closed yesterday when it broke this support level. It failed on this. Sometimes we get stuck in these like, wait, should I? You can see, this was the second chance. The first one, it was trying, and then it just sort of lost that move. And then it's like, if it loses it, we give it 1 second chance, one hiccup. After that, you're in no man's land. You can find yourself stuck in limbo. Um, I'd say be careful there. Okay. Amazon. Oh, Amazon. Look at Amazon today. Trying. Fighting its way out of the depths. APH trying to hold. A lot of these things that we had been watching have turned sideways. In Amazon for a day trade. Ooh, good call. I like that for a day trade. Amazon. American Express not looking good down there. Baba still just gets worse and worse. Bank of America, Barclays. Look at all these that have just really turned south. Bud had a big move up, and now, I don't know, it just feels unsafe. City. Caterpillar. The problem with Caterpillar, again, it's just got bad efficiency in its options. The spreads are too wide. Okay, CF pulling back. Coherent pulling back. Okay, let's go pop in for a minute. Watch this next candle. Let's go back to the SPY. Let's see where we're at, what we think. Let's orient. So we had the open, then a sell, then a pause. So I'm gonna take the bodies. Take the bodies. Understand the shadows. Right? You can see that there's a little touch up there. Okay, so what are we looking for here? Well, if we hit the middle of this and roll off of it, yeah, I'm probably going to look more of a bearish orientation. So if we can get back up to the top of it and break through up here, and there you go, right? Or if we get up here and pull back and then turn, I'll take that one to the upside. Or if we break out, then we're right. So we want to have a couple of different ideas of what's going to really push us to start thinking about, getting a position, or maybe a new position. Maybe if you're already in something, right? If you found your momentum early. So we got a little back and forth, buyers and sellers. We'll come back to this here in a few minutes and see as this develops. Okay. Where did I stop? Coherent, Cisco. Here's Delta. Delta's down. The diamonds are down. Actually, the Dow's up a little bit. Dow, okay. Look at Dow trying to fight up again. We'd love to see. Oh, how much it would be nice if we ended up with a candle that looks like this today. But it's sitting right here. That would be joy for us. We'd be like, all right. We'd be in a profitable position and looking to see if we can't catch maybe 2 or 3 days and then we're done. That's all I'll be looking for. Ford got hit pretty good. GE. Oh, GE. We bring good things to life. In the older days of GE. GE, yeah, it's got a nice little consolidation in place. Last move was pretty good. Let's draw it. Let's see if we got something like that on the breakout. 369. So we'll just call it 370 ish. Upside of 370. Depending on when the breakout occurs, too, right? I mean, whoops, let me get out of that. If we I actually would argue maybe it ends up there, so that would actually probably put it 375. 375. Okay. Yeah, there's a nice move setting up here. Volatility's not too bad, 35%. We know that industrials has been the only growth segment that's been sticking around with everybody else in the sector rotation. It's industrials and utilities and energy and basic materials, right? There's no it's fighting in there for fighting the good fight, and GE clearly is a leader in that space. Well, so add that to the list of candidates. Okay. Gold. GM. GM is trying to come back, and if anyone happened to get like stuck in their GM trade, it's got a little bit of a V taste here. So if it could get back up to there, you would at least recover a good chunk. Still be a loss likely, but much, much less. I think a lot of people closed either as it fell off the path here or broke support here. So even though it's back to that, you're there 3 days and a weekend later. So I'm not going to ask, is anyone in that? Because sometimes people get a little like, I don't want to be the one who says I am. So I'm just saying, I get it. I've gotten myself in trades where I'm like, ooh, I felt like I got stuck in that. But when you see something like this, you're like, hey, let's see what this, now that we're stuck and we're here, may as well see this thing play out. What does this look like it could be? It looks like it could be a V shape. So this is not just true for this. This is true for any trade where you feel like I got stuck. If there's something like that, let's see if it could get there. The problem a lot of times is people are like, when it gets here, then they're like, they start thinking about this. And they're like, well, then maybe now it's going to do this. At that point, the odds of that happening are so small. And what happens is, as they wait for it, it all of a sudden gives back so fast that I don't know, then you're stuck again? Does that sound like a familiar story some of us have been through? Anyway, if you're still in it, and this is true for any trade, when you get something, make sure you know, like, where do I really need to make sure that I don't let this thing fall apart again? It's like it's like deal or no deal, right? It's like you're only satisfied with what you had before, and now that it's gone. Google, we talked about, and look at it. It's right there. It's knocking. This is one that I think could turn. Stevens in GM. Okay, it's trying to do its thing. BE, Bloom Energy, the company making small nuke plants for military. Is that like those little like a nuclear reactor in a box? Like it's like this, like a little shipping container, but it's like I mean, not really a shipping container, but that's like the size of it, right? Yeah, I've heard about those. We can. Who else makes those? Westinghouse? No. Trying to think. Bloom Energy. Let's go take a look. That's interesting. Whoops. That's an interesting concept. BE. Oh yeah. That's a nice looking setup too. Developing. It just sort of made a move higher, pulled back. Looks like it's trying to make a turn again. Yeah, I like that. High vol on the options. You're at 100% plus. So if you're trading options, they're going to be like, woo, expensive probably. Let's see how the liquidity looks. Stock looks good. They do have weeklies. Let's just pop into the Marches. I mean, it's got at the round numbers, meaning 150 strike, 155, 160, thousands, 7,900, 4,200, 3,200, but they're very like to get 16 days. So March is 16 days now. If you go out of the money to 175s, that's 10% out of them. You're up here. That's right. You're still paying $12 an option, $1,200 a contract. Like and there's a decent spread. I mean, the spread's like for that level of option, it's $1.40 spread. It's expensive. So Bob C. I like it, but it's expensive options, and there is a chunk in the spread. So anyway, again, even right now for a lot of things, the spreads you're going to find with the VIX where it is, a direct correlation tends to be the width of the spreads. When you go look at how wide spreads are when the VIX is at like 12 to 15% versus when it's at 20 to 25%. The market makers widen that. That's basically they're saying, hey, we're going to pay ourselves a little bit more because this market's tough. So it's not just tough from the standpoint that prices are going to, there's less conviction. It's tough from the fact that market makers are charging you more to trade right now. That's a fact. All factors that ultimately contribute to us making the types of risk management decisions that we're making us pickier with trades right now. Probably smaller with position size a little bit. Just again, if the overall conviction in the market is down, we're not going to be like, look how I'm going to just keep doing things the way I do. No, we're going to adjust. We're going to be like, dial it back. Don't take that trade if it's questionable at all. Make sure that you're really picking the right things in the right places as much as possible. Having strong plans. Right now, one of the things that you've seen is taking losses faster. It's just in this market, you just can't trust it. I think the market has shown some resilience. Even if my posture drops a little bit, which as of now, it's probably on track to. But I'm hoping that we recover. Let's go take a quick peek. We're another 10 minutes at the SPY. We'll get back to our watch lists. So there you go. What do we see? Well, the buyers made the break. They got through the upper position here. Now what? Well, I'm more oriented bullishly at this point. If this thing pulls back, I'm thinking to myself, anything in this area is going to be a higher low. And I'm going to look to see if this thing can push. If you're day trading, I would expect that you're probably in a more looking for bullishness. You can see that the SPY, as of right now, if it stays at or where it is, that is giving us a turn. The stochastics is turning, the SPY is turning. So that even more so pushes me to think, all right, what of these that we're looking at? Oh, there's that. And that's what I was talking about too. That turn candle that turns out of the high. If we see this, or even a little bit lower, if the market even gets a little bit more bullish, and it looks like that, that's what we were talking about. That's the kind of candle that then, whether it only goes this much or whether it gets all the way back to the old low or even a little lower still, some of that's going to determine how we score ultimately. But yeah, this is looking recovery. This is looking like a recovery. We've still got some time today. We're still only 43 minutes in. But this is orienting me towards a new position. Give me your thoughts. Who feels like they're ready for another trade? Who feels a little gun shy? Let me know how you're feeling. It's very important for us to share those feelings with each other. Where were we? GM? We did GM. We did Google. Goldman. Home Depot? No? You can see a lot of these things are we're going to really want to take a peek at our watch list coming out of this. See if there's new leaders that we need to put on and then start to get rid of some of the old stuff. Good. Tesla to day trade. The Tesla options can ebb and flow. Let's take a look when we get there. We're getting close. LRCX. This is looking interesting. At the end of today, viably, that would be something to consider. Or if the end of today looks like this, and tomorrow we get something like this, that would be something to consider. We've got some good moves here. 207, 252, that's 45 points. 265-ish, I'd say. Up in here? Yeah. Yeah, there's something there,
This is a reminder. Water the...
I need to water my bonsai trees. I forgot to adjust my reminder to later in the day. Sorry, guys. Okay, LRCX on the list. Nice. Look at this strong stock, still leader. Give me your thoughts. We're creating a list of things that we're like these things: GE, Google, LRCX. I don't think there was anything higher. Applied materials. There's some. We have some things. I feel like that will help build confidence in taking the trade. MasterCard. Nah. MasterCard looks like it's poised to maybe test the lows again, to be fair. Meta. Oh, it's trying. It's not strong enough yet, but it's nice to see at least trying. Monster, too far down. Morgan Stanley, still trending down. More Microsoft, not enough. Micron, little recovery there. If anyone still has some of this, it's fighting the good fight. IBM is not looking great. It had a little push, but it's just like, I would say this is enough, maybe. Yeah, maybe, that if it got even a little closer to this point and then it pulled back, then. But yeah, this was a hell of a, like, AI is going to take some of their business away kind of a deal, right? In IBM. Okay, so you're catching a little bit of this now. Great. I mean, make sure you have an idea of where do you start peeling some of that off, because when it sells hard and fast. Boom, 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 right? 1 day, 2 days, 1 day, and it just eats up chunks. So don't let that happen. Where were we? We were around Micron. Micron, like we said, fighting the good fight. Still a chance to make some money there. Netflix, you can see, even though it's still going, there's just not much in it. At this point, it's like, here's $1, here's 50 cents, here's another $1. It's just not much. If you're in it and you're like, hey, I'm still pushing, great. Tighten your stop, trail stop, makes a lot of sense. New trade, no. Nvidia trying to hold on. Palantir, okay, so Palantir, the bulls coming back in. Who traded this yesterday? Still trade it today? A lot of times you'll move in. I would imagine so. Should have a nice bullish move there. QQQ. Let's go look. Oh, we're almost there. Rocket Lab is trying. I know someone was holding on to this. That's holding support. I would definitely say staying in a bullish position right now makes some sense. Ooh, Ross Stores, good earnings. Jumped higher. Nothing there for us. RTX, small pullback. Silver up a little today. SanDisk. No. Okay, SPY. Let's go dive in. Yeah, nice. It's pushing. The buyers are trying to push. We'd love to see, even on a small pullback, a second push. A little intraday trend for the bulls. And again, we know the impact that would have on the VIX. That would give us the VIX signal that we're looking for to try to look for a bullish push in the market. And I would definitely say if we're at or around, even slightly above this position here, we'll be looking for an alert. Definitely. And you know the list it's coming from. You've seen it. So, back to Sandy's original question. What's the market's response to the war? Muted to some extent. Measured? I don't know. What's the word? Measured. It's a measured response. There was definitely some concern. We saw some vol. We saw some gaps. But we also saw the buyers answer the call. And as of right now, cautious is good. I like that. Cautious, measured. It's holding on. It's holding on some very key support levels, trend levels, for both my short term and long term. It did get. It does look like the volume tentative. That's a good one. I like it. Tentative. So, interestingly, when we say how should we be trading, well, those are some good words. We should be trading tentatively. We should be trading cautiously. We should be trading in a measured fashion. Makes sense to me. Right? Nobody looks at this market as like, this is the market you're going to go smash a bunch of profits. This is the market where you're going to not draw down. You're going to stay engaged in the market. You're going to not draw down. If during periods when the VIX spikes up, if you were to like go back and look at those periods, and if you were to say, if all I did was stay flat during those periods, and then look at the periods when the VIX is low and moving lower, like those are our periods. Those are when our posture is strong. And you say to yourself, during these times, if I'm making 15, 20% on my account during that 3 to 4 month block, and then during the 2 or 3 month block when the VIX goes a little crazy, I walk away unscathed. And then the next time we're in that better condition, I make money, and then the next, that's exactly what it tends to look like. Now, we would love to actually make profits during that because we're willing to trade bearishly. We learn strategies that work in neutral markets. Butterflies, iron condors. We're willing to jump to the other side as if we start to see the momentum building that way. But look, sometimes that's what it is, right? Is it's like when you're playing poker. It's not just are you a good poker player. It's how good are the other players. It's what position are you in, and where's the other people, and who's like. So there's a lot, and it shifts constantly. So there's nothing we really do that's just like this is what I do all the time. We're constantly looking at how do I shift what I'm doing to match market conditions. Yeah, good strong morning. I think there's a very good chance. GE looks a little early, but I think there's a very good chance that we find something in here that we like by the end of the day. Yeah, I think so. Based on how things are looking right now. Let's go see. One that we almost took. STX is trying to make a turn, but it's been kind of more of a consolidation anyway. It was SYY. We were thinking about that. It looked valid, in fact. That was a valid turn. We were thinking the next day, what are our thoughts? And then we waited, and yeah, you can see that was a good wait. This was never a trade we took. I actually think there could be something setting up still in this. We'll see. TJX. Here's Tesla. Tesla for a day trade. Tesla's volumes. Oh, let's see. Yeah, actually, the spreads are quite tight on those options. So I would say I would definitely feel comfortable with that. I also think that it does get pretty good moves. I mean, you can see it is a $400 stock, but pulled back, nice little turn. That's the kind of thing we look for, and then off it went. Now it's starting to stall out a little bit. So yes to both. I think that definitely looks like a good place to be. Okay. What time is it? Oh, we're almost through our list. TSM is down. Vail. Let's see. Vodafone. Maybe a trade developing here. Western Digital getting a turn. Walmart looks okay. This is kind of like my I'm going to do this. That's my compromise. If I can see Walmart move out of this, great. If it can't start turning up, I mean, right now it's fine. It's not really. It's kind of sitting. Okay, that's everything. We're now 3 days in. We've weathered the storm, I think, pretty well. We didn't get enticed into anything. We watched. We let the data come. It sounds like a good number of you were able to jump into some things intraday. Pull some profits out of it. Great, well done. And we've got some opportunities setting up that if this thing stabilizes like it looks like it could be, well, then opportunity, like we said before, it looks like there is possibly some opportunity. So, all right. It's great to see everybody. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, Glenn will open us up, and then we'll see you tomorrow evening. Keep your eyes out. Definitely, we're in alert territory. As always, happy trading.